Hi, I'm Izzy.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Kayla.
Hey, my name is Ethan.
I'm Jack.
We're Ticket the Band. Pretty much for as long as I could talk. I haven't been singing well for as long as I can talk, but I've loved music my whole life. My dad was really musical. He played guitar, he played piano, he sang. So that was something that we always did together. So pretty much my whole life.
I've been playing guitar for about 2.5 years, I'd say, but I was in like high school band. I played saxophone, and that's what got me into music a lot more. But I've only been playing guitar for about 2 years, and I've been with a band for 1 year.
I've been drumming about 5 years now.
I've been singing since elementary school, and I've been playing bass since about last year.
I started playing guitar like 2 years ago, and then I was previously in orchestra. I played violin. I was not very good, but it was fun. I played it like from middle school, 6th grade, up until senior year, so it's cool.
We were all enrolled in the pop rock ensemble class. And so basically a ton of different like musicians enroll, and then we're formed into little groups by the professor. So it was totally just like random.
Basically a group project,
Yeah, it was basically like an extended group project, so. It took us a while to come up with a band name. We played with a lot of ideas, and like hindsight's 2020, they were all bad. There was like Cornfield was up in the air, which isn't, I still don't think that's great. What else? There were some bad ones.
Soundproof ceiling tile.
That was me,
that
soundproof ceiling tile. I went really hard on that, and I'm glad I didn't because it's bad. And then we ended up picking Ticket because I have a friend who's like, one of her mom's like hobbies is like band names, like coming up with band names. She's like, I have a like master doc of cool band names. Do you want to look at them? And we all looked at them, and Ticket was one that we all really liked. It just sounded cool, so.
Summer Something, I think, is kind of, it revolves around that, the concept that we're our own kind of biggest judgers, and we are really harsh to ourselves, and not only trying to prove to others, but prove to ourselves that we're, worth something. And it's just kind of that mental battle thrown into a couple minutes of song.
Somewhere Something to me is about trying to prove your worth to not only someone else, but also yourself, and just kind of the struggles that come with that.
The meaning behind Somewhere Something, I feel like it's just kind of like trying to prove to yourself that you're like worth someone's like time or like being around them, but also kind of proving to that person too, and just being like, hey, like, give me a chance, like I'm worth being around. Yeah.
For me, like lyrically, Somewhere Something is sort of about the experience of feeling like you need to prove to someone that you care about that you're someone that they should want around. So like the words of Somewhere Something, like the chorus are like, I could love him, he could save me, I could sing like a violin. It's all sort of about the like desperation, like the frantic desperation of being like, I can prove to you if you just like give me some time and give me some space that I'm someone that you want to be around. I'm someone that you want to keep around, and I could belong somewhere. So it's sort of about that experience.
To me, the meaning of Somewhere Something is about wanting to prove yourself that you're worth something. There's all those lines about like, I kind of see them as selling points about you as a person. So you're trying to say, no, I can do all of this. Like I can be really good to someone or for something if only I have like the chance to show it, kind of. That's what it means to me.
feed me? Do you love me? Do you need me? Aren't I something? Could you feed me? I could love him, really love him. I could sing just like a fucking violin. I could fucking bring the house down. I could belong to somewhere, someone.
My songwriting process, lyrics are difficult for me, so I usually just start with some sort of melodic idea I like, and that's usually what I bring in to the band whenever we're gonna write something together. Izzy usually writes the lyrics first, and then sometimes she asks us for help, but sometimes she just has them. And then we kind of just jam on those ideas that each of us bring in for a little bit until something kind of feels right, and then we flesh it out from there.
Most of the time, since I'm not really an instrumentalist, like what the first step is, like I'll come up with like maybe even just a line or maybe even just like a phrase, a 2-word phrase that I really like and I want to do something with. And I'll sort of use that idea and map out what a song could sound like lyrically. And then I bring that to the rest of the band because they know how to play instruments and compose for instruments and I don't. And they usually have really great ideas.
Usually we'll have like a little bit of a jam session and we just kind of come up with ideas like on the spot. That's usually how I get most of my ideas for songs.
Usually it would come down to like finding a lick or just something that kind of sounds cool, like a progression, and then, you know, just going from there sort of thing.
I think I get a lot of my inspiration just from listening to music, and then that'll kind of give me an idea of like maybe what to come up with and then bring it to the band, and then we sort of jam until something feels right.
My personal music influence is definitely Bon Iver. He's my favorite artist for sure.
Probably John Bonham of Led Zeppelin.
Either Jeff Buckley or Thundercat.
My dad listened to a lot of like classic rock back in the day. I'd say like John Frusciante, Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that.
When it comes to like lyrics and songwriting, I really love Adrienne Lenker. I think she's like mastered the English language. Like she's a great songwriter. When it comes to like music, I just love Radiohead. I do. They're all laughing at me because I always talk about Radiohead, but I love their music, no skips, and I think they do some really cool things. So,
Rearview to me is about hometown ties and the conflicting feeling of wanting to leave, but also having found sort of a sense of comfort where you've grown up and like not really knowing what to do.
I wrote the words for Rearview when I think I was like a junior in high school, so that was like coming up on 4 years ago. And basically it's about, I grew up in like a sort of small like Bible Belt town, and it's sort of about the experience of being a really angry teenager and feeling like all of that anger and all of those negative emotions will go away like once you grow up and move out, once you're old enough and you can go to school or you can move away for work, and then everything will be better. And it's sort of like a testament to my own fickleness in that way, where as a teenager, like as a really angry and unhappy teenager, I thought that everything would be better if I just moved to a different town, or if I just did this, or if I just did that. And like the sort of uncomfortable truth is that that's not always the case. Like sometimes that's your personality. Sometimes like that's the way you are. That's sort of like your temperament, your nature. So that's sort of, I know that was a lot of words, but that's sort of what that's about. It's like a testament to being an angry teenager and thinking it gets better in adulthood in a different place, and sometimes it doesn't, which is fine. So.
The meaning behind Rearview for me is if you could like snap your fingers and be anywhere else. So like if you're just feeling like not it, if you're in like kind of a bad spot, like if you just snap your fingers and wish that you could be somewhere else, someone else, just not there, you know, if you were to do that, you would probably still feel like there's somewhere else you need to be, somewhere else, you know, something else that you need to be doing. So I think it's kind of it's a good metaphor for that, and like accepting that in order to be happy, you kind of just need to be happy with yourself before you spread that out into the world, sort of thing.
For Rearview, I would say, like, the song says, like, you're in a small town and you're leaving hoping that things will be better, it'll be different. And just to realize that that's not always the case. Like, you can try all these different things and it's not gonna work. So yeah.
To me, I resonate with the lines about wanting to leave and then things will get better, I will be better. It's about like trying to leave a town or a place that you're in, a situation you're in, and thinking things will get better and just trying desperately everything you can think of to make your life better, but nothing seems to really be working out and you can't figure out why, because you thought so much that it would be the place, but it doesn't really turn out that that's what it was. Yeah.
Cheap grocery store.
I'm always nervous before a gig.
I'm always nervous before a gig.
I'm always nervous before a gig.
Really, nothing works except for like meditative breathing, which is so corny, but literally just doing like box breathing, like holding my breath is sort of, it forces my heart rate to go down. So then I can sort of have fun. Like once my literal physical body is feeling less anxious, I feel like I can get past the first couple seconds of being on stage, and then it's all fun and easy after that.
I bribe myself with a sweet treat. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna go get something to eat after this, and I forget about it.
The way I try to soothe my nerves is by like feigning confidence. Like I tell myself I'm just gonna kill it or I'm gonna do really good, and that usually works out good enough.
I usually just try to tell myself to have fun because I'm with people that are my friends and we're doing what we love. So usually that helps. Yeah.
Can I be like completely honest? Absolutely. I usually take a shit.
If I didn't have music as a hobby, I think I'd be doing photography.
I'd probably be a STEM major and on a track to make a lot more money.
Probably a barista or like opening a coffee shop.
I don't know what I would, if I didn't have music, I don't know, it's sort of the only thing that I'm good at, or the only thing that I really, really love. I'd probably, I don't know, I feel like I would run a bakery. I would run like a bakery slash coffee shop slash bookstore. I feel like I could be like an entrepreneur in that way.
I'd probably be getting a lot better grades on my chem tests and such things. But yeah, I'd be, it would be boring.